Hello, my name's Miranda. Thanks for listening to my presentation. This is the third one I've done because I'm slightly technologically challenged. And so here's hoping I am able to finish this one and get it up on Blackboard. So my title is, so far, tentatively, is Tattoos, Kitschy or Classy? Why did I choose this topic? Tattoos are becoming more and more common and normalized, and I know many people who would describe them as art, and several tattoo artists that consider themselves very much so an artist. People spend billions of dollars every year on tattoos. Some questions I hope to dive into are what drives a person to get a tattoo? Which I would assume Scruton would believe that it is because it's trendy. And why are people using their bodies as a canvas? And also touch on religious views on tattoos. My tentative thesis statement is this. Through philosopher Roger Scruton's eyes, modern tattoos would be categorized as kitsch and not art. And this is tentatively also my introduction paragraph. I'm not completely satisfied with it yet, but although people who do the tattooing are called artists, Roger Scruton would likely state that tattoo artists are doing what they do for money, fame, or pleasure, not art. Scruton goes so far to say that some art he considers kitsch is a perilous disease of the faith. So somehow I will tie into this disease of faith, the way certain religions look and view at tattoos. I'm also going to touch on kind of the history of tattoos. Historically, they were a sign of rebellion. If you think about back in our grandparents' day, the people who had tattoos were either people who got out of jail, got them in jail, or they're in a biker gang. Some cultures and religions still deem tattoos as sin, and many people refuse to get them because of their religious beliefs. And there's an increasingly number of people, even in the faith, that are adorning their bodies in ink. And I know many who would disagree with Scruton's theory. Just a cute little meme here I thought I would share. This is Jesus saying, "Love everyone no matter what." And one of the religious followers says, well, what if they have tattoos? And Jesus says, yes, even if they ask stupid questions. I like that. The two tattoos that I chose after looking through hundreds of tattoos all over the internet are these two pieces here. So the first one is, the first one is several famous artists' pieces, Da Vinci's more well-known pieces. So looking at this, I would imagine that this man is a Da Vinci fan, or perhaps someone in his family is. I would also say that these tattoos are well done. I'm not a fan of like a lot of ink on someone's body, but these are unique and they fit together well and they're well done, and I think also without a lot of color they're more aesthetically pleasing. I would guess that Scruton would disagree and that he would call this kitsch because these are precious, famous works of art, and this person has kind of taken them and just done their own thing with them. So don't think I'd be able to convince Scruton on that piece. This one, on the other hand, Van Gogh's Starry Starry Nights with I think to me this looks like an older couple staring into it as though it is actually the night sky at the time. And because this looks like it is a younger person's arm, I would almost guess that this person could be their grandparents, and it's in memory of them. Perhaps they were art lovers and they introduced their grandchild to some famous artists or pieces. Either way, this image definitely evokes some sort of emotion in people and causes them to think and wonder Why would someone seemingly so young get this unique piece? Looking at both of these, I would say that they are both aesthetically pleasing. They're both beautiful. I got my first tattoo, which I chose off a wall because in my 20s I was dating someone who liked tattoos, and I decided to go get one with no real meaning behind it. I don't regret it, but I chose a little butterfly. Butterflies are significant for me, but it wasn't, there was no real meaning behind it. Whereas these two pieces tell a story, and looking at them, it would cause a person to ask questions and start a conversation between the person viewing the art and the person who is the canvas of the art. Just a quick outline of what I'm going to talk about. One of the reasons why people believe that tattoos are a sin or not acceptable is because our bodies are holy and sacred. And I would just argue that our bodies are temporary, and that the untouchable that Scruton is talking about here is actually our spirit and our soul. I would also touch on the meaning, the deeper meaning of tattoos being it represents a significant time in someone's life, it's a memory of someone lost, or it's a personal narrative and artistic freedom. I would agree with the trendiness of tattoos being kitschy and lacking meaning. Scruton would say they are a hot commodity, and therefore they are definitely considered to be kitsch. The conclusion would likely be along the lines that Scruton would stand his ground, but perhaps soften to the idea of certain tattoos holding some aesthetic value and representing beauty that activates the onlooker's senses. A few questions that I will ask is, are all tattoos kitschy? Would a true artist capture beauty on a canvas that will decay? Would Scruton propose, what would Scruton propose is the motive for getting a tattoo? And if the tattoo is a famous piece of art, has the beauty been lost in it being a replica? And finally, I'm looking forward to your feedback. Please feel free to share positives, negatives. Any constructive criticism will be appreciated. And if you are comfortable doing so, please let us know how many tattoos you have and if you think Scruton would call them classy or kitschy. That's it. Thank you for listening to my presentation.